It's the end of the year and we have assembled the Polenar technical shooting team to do some training. I can't remember when was the last time that we did any CQB. This was an interesting topic for all of us, so we decided to freshen up our skills. We started with some basic movement drills and weapon handling. For this, all of the guns were unloaded and we used safety chamber flags in the rifles just to be sure not flagging ourselves or the camera guy. Each of us has a different background in CQB training, so it was interesting to see how our techniques combine and where do they diverge. We started from the basic stack, trying to figure out different positions, movement and communication. We quickly agreed that the high ready position is probably the safest and the easiest to use in tight spaces. Button hook is a common technique for a team to flood the room where the first guy does a turn at the door and clears the opposite corner of the room. Here it is very important that the second guy in the stack is very quick behind him and clears the other corner. We tried a couple of variations of the technique and the goal was for the second guy to clear the blind corner as fast as possible. Next up was the hallway. I would say that hallways are very tricky because they are natural choke points. When you're in a hallway, you're essentially a sitting duck for the people that can peek from a door or from the end of the hallway and shoot at you. You have no cover, only your teammates to rely on. Here you can see us try different techniques and there are many more available. Here we're trying to address two zones of danger. One is the room left of us and one is at the end of the hallway. We can address this obstacle in different ways, but it depends on the width of the hallway itself and the size of your team. Rooms with open doors pose a specific challenge, and here we are trying to address it by first spying the room and then providing front cover for our element from the open hallway up ahead. We enter this room by crossing and trying not to flag each other in the process. Here you can see us try to cover the hallway in a couple of different techniques. When we approach the open door on the hallway, it becomes more complicated. Should we enter the room directly or should we first cross it and then enter? Throwing a distraction device into a room sounds as a very simple thing to do, but in reality you have to consider all of the sectors that you have to cover. Who covers the room? Who covers the corner next to you? Who is providing cover for the hallway that is in front of us? And who is providing cover in the back of the group? The other problem here is the movement of the people in front of you, especially for a third guy that is trying to cover the hallway in front. The issue with the short barreled rifles is that the guy in front of you can quickly jump or move in front of your muzzle without even knowing it. With a 5-man element, we can afford to have one guy just to cover the rear, but we were discussing if this even makes sense for certain situations. For example, if we are coming from a direction where we cleared all of the rooms, it doesn't always make sense to dedicate one man just to cover that direction, especially if you have a small team. Now we are performing the drill with live ammo. Pay attention to the third guy in the stack. He should provide cover in front of us, but because he is too bunched up in the stack, he has to lift up the muzzle of his rifle to not flag the second guy throwing the flashbang. I think it would be better here if he would do a side step to the right, a bit outside of the stack and provide solid cover to the front. The guy with an AK was the last one in the stack, so his responsibility should be to also cover our rear. He gets a bit confused and just continues as the second guy in the stack. The last guy out of the room now realizes that he's also the last element of the stack and takes his responsibilities. This is a very good example on how you have to adapt to the situation because nothing works as planned. Check out the first guy in the stack. He gets a bit target focused and does not clear his left corner and kind of stays too close to the entrance of the room, blocking the people behind him.
Idi za fokus pet. A kdo je bil tam zadnji? Tam je mogo počakati. Okay.
Oh, and don't forget, if you enjoyed this clusterfuck of the video, please you can help us out by commenting and pressing the like button. because that's how YouTube works. We get the engagement, the video does well, and then we know that it's something that you guys like.
Covering. Presence up. Coming up. Flashbang!
For the last run, I'll stay quiet and I will let the all-knowing knowledge of internet to tell us what we did wrong. We need some of your feedback.
Ready? Brand is out. Coming up. Okay.
Please subscribe. Bye!